dekat Streamlabs. Sebab YouTube apa ni, Losok tak boleh buat live lagi. Where is it? Oh, okay. Link dekat ni ya.
Asal link hilang ni. Okey. Ada lipat-lipat tak?
No, berlipat. Okey juga.
Okey.
Diorang refreshment dekat holding room ke?
Tak, dekat luar.
Kat luar tu je lah.
Sebab holding room, aircon dia tak boleh on.
Okay.
Kita orang baru dapat tahu dari pukul 5. Lizzie, hantar aku balik link tu.
Link apa
YouTube.
Afiq, semua okey.
Liza, ada satu spekta free tak Liza?
Tak ada.
Waktu bermulanya majlis. Aku tak Afiq.
Nak apa bagi tahu dulu.
Asal begitu nak tutup lampu bila nyanyi lagu negara aku. Yang perempuan ada yang ikut aku kan?
Aku tak.
Asyirah tak apa Asyirah. Baik tanya Asyirah.
Lizzie, yang dia punya receiving tu.
What? Oh,
Yang kita baca soalan tu, yang kita akan delete.
I give you.
Ya, aku tak jumpa.
Ni live kan? Style? Kat iPad je.
Pun siapa nak tu? Memang tidur lah. Aku dah bagi akses kat kau ke? Hajas, aku dah bagi akses kat kau ke?
Dah, aku buka itu ada akses.
Okay, so belah mana ni?
Bukan. Bapak dia.
Oh, tu lampu depan.
Ya, tutup lah. Lampu ni pun pasal on ni.
Kena pasang kat dia tu.
Jangan kau sangat sebab dia tunggu dia rosak ni. Ye, tepat. Jomlah itu. Alah. Baik. PM. Pergi berhenti. Sebab ni tak perlulah. Oh, yang baru. Okey. Oh, tepat lah. Tahu tu the eye of the program. The face of the program kan the eye. First time.
Just the QR tu boleh dapat lagi.
Ni tengah.
Dah.
Kau dah hantar?
Dah.
Then tengok sini je tau. We'll delete what we don't need.
Mana?
Jap.
Oh, cakap macam mana cakap?
Jap. Okey. Oh, handsome. Jok lah handsome bang. Tak boleh perempuan ni.
Tak apa, dia tak boleh nampak attention. Dia tak okey je.
Ya Allah, handsome siap. Lampu belakang ni. banyak.
Tu aku dah bawa.
Asyik. Ambil je lah.
Maksud aku tebal ni tau. Ni tebal.
Ambil je lah. Cukup aku.
Simpan balik. Letak ambil aku.
Asal tukar baju ni?
Tak, aku guna baju ni. Aku tak ada blazer.
Sikit baju aku. Kita tak nampak kemas.
Okay. Necktie lah, necktie. Pasal necktie dia kecil sangat tu. Dia punya triangle.
Simple ni.
Single nak tapi kenapa kecil?
Serius nak.
Okay, on the second round,
Singit eh?
after second round kita akan pamerkan QR code.
Okay.
Sila jom kita ke registration seorang. Kau duduk sini. Duduk sini.
Bila aku tekan start? Dia eh? Okay. Dah start eh?
Code for the audience to submit their questions.
Link dah ada. Link dah ada.
Tak tahu, dia tak cakap apa-apa.
Kau turun bawah, minta kat list link dia. Bagi aku sekarang.
Okay, okay.
People still memorize how to hello Dr. Garma, how are you? Have you arrived? Can you tell me any significant things that you can tell me? You are the main. Okay, alright, macam ni. Once you enter the main gate tadi tu, you go to the left, then you go to the right. Then you find parking there. There's parking there. Okay, after that, okay, just walk. I will ask an usher to assist you. Will that be okay? There's a lot of people downstairs. Yes. Dia parking dekat OKU.
Kau ada mesej ke?
Okay. Kenal yang muka dia tu? And it's a she, ya? Perempuan. Ramai ingat lagi. Dia tahu. Tu yang merah. Love you. So, ada yang ambil ya? She will be in front. Just if the speaker will be sit in front of her, right?
Tapi dia akan masuk ke situ.
Saya dulu dari bawah tu saya nak bergerak ke meja hall tu. Saya tak tahu siapa usher yang ada di sana.
Takkan ada di sini. Kita dah tengok orang. Dan ni dah siapa? Dah saya je ke dah? Memang awak lah orangnya. What do you exactly know, Doctor?
Link mana link? Link dah ada dalam tu. Link LIVESTREAM. Dah ada.
Welcome. Hi. How was the journey here? Good. Okay, good to know. Thank you, man. Did it like jam to get here? A little bit. From where to where did it jam? Oh, the MR2. Oh, the MR2 is always jammed. Understand the hardship. Very sorry for that. But thank you for making time.
Bonjit tak nampak. Mana bonjit sebenarnya?
Afiq.
Dia mau kita go pada tu.
Oh ni lah. Oh dah start ke?
Ke kontrol ni.
Dah start kuih. Oh. Kan jap. Oh, okay.
Kau nak slow ke sikit radio?
Oh, you nak lagu Oppenheimer?
Okay lah. Jaya. Before we wrap up, on a serious note, we are deeply concerned over the loss of so many lives due to the latest escalation of clashes in and around the Gaza Strip. At this critical time, further loss of life, suffering, and destruction should stop, and parties must exercise utmost restraint and de-escalate. The Palestinians have been subjected to the prolonged illegal occupation, blockade, and sufferings. The desecration of Al-Aqsa, as well as the politics of dispossession at the hands of Israel as the occupier. Now, I would like to invite everyone as we rise standing in solidarity with our brothers and sisters in Palestine, who singing the song titled Palestine Will Be Free by Maher Zain. Okay. Palestine Will Be Free by Maher Zain. Boom. It's at the end.
Itu ni kosong mana? Depan ni kan? Kan? Tak ada dah. Baca kan? Oh, atas. Dia aktifkan nanti. Ni tutup lah lampu atas ni dulu tu. Asina. Awang di mana? Awang. Okay.
Kau jaga live. Tapi tak, plan B sekarang kita orang dapat kita isi. Tak isi lah. Kita isi kan. Boleh.
Nanti semua kerja aku dah selesai.
Satu is live stream tu. Kita tengok macam ni dulu. Minta ditinggikan lagi.
Boleh je kot. Aku dia tambah buku. Siapa saya?
Tak, ini tinggikan in terms of tinggikan ni.
Ya, boleh je. Siapa saya?
Ada berbahan je. Ni. Okey. Ada sikit. Kalau ada orang duduk situ, cuba kau pergi duduk situ. Okey.
Ni memang kita tak buka.
Tapi ni kau duduk kan?
Okay. So aku macam jangan bagi kami tu terjatuh sampai.
Kau ni.
Tepi tangan.
Dah, jangan si.
Semua buku keluar kan.
Semua tengok lah. Ada buku seksual ni semua.
Luffy cakap apa?
Dah start live ke?
Dah dari tadi selain.
Siapa yang ada?
Siapa cik? Cik siapa? Dah start.
Siapa ada dalam tu? Aku ada orang duduk dengan store aku.
Sorang.
Siapa ada dalam tu?
Aja kena simpan.
Masuk suara.
Tak rasa macam
Bodoh lah.
tak rasa sengit ni.
Sengit lah apa ni? Dia jadi apa? Praktek. Apa ni praktek? Yang tu salah kau.
Tak.
Elok tu ada orang. Hi guys, welcome to the stream.
Hello.
Macam mana nak tengok participant? Oh, kau kamera mat.
Sekejap. Sengit je aku. Cuba kau tengokkan. Sekejap. Aku adjust.
Ni dah adjust kau je depan tu je. RM15. Dia sepatutnya jadi macam tu.
Kau nak macam ni bukan ke tengah.
Tak adalah, at least macam nampak MC, nampak ni. Okay
Oh,
lah.
okey, betul. Siapa kat sebelah ni? Siapa seorang ni?
Tak tahu.
Ha? Boleh cakap, maybe. Aku tak tahu apa.
Siapa ni kip lah? Dah dah. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. To all attendees, as you can see in the WhatsApp group, there is a YouTube live link. So it will be much and very appreciated if you can share that link to all your friends so they can watch this interfaith dialogue via YouTube live. Thank you.
Jadi apa?
Kenapa?
No, because they want to record the media, so just get to hear.
Can they like do on that side?
Because we share the
Belakang boleh tak?
Zoom.
Scheduling wise. How?
Like sharing the link, what does it?
Just share. It's already on.
So they can view it.
Yep. Already. Dia tadi dah on. Tak on. Dari tadi
But
dah
I
start.
think they also want to. What
Dia
I
siapa ni? Siapa?
They
Apa
did
ni?
the media rescue. So what they understand is, what I understand is,
Diorang siapa?
they share. Diorang from one of the speakers in the media.
Oh, okay.
So what I understand from chatting is they together diorang.
It's jadi lost ni.
Yeah. So what I mean is, from media side. So I'm thinking of scheduling is like you're recording. He's also recording for a different channel.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you sharing the link. So
No.
So what is sharing?
You losok lah. Dia
Lain lah, more lain lah. Tu tak.
dia lain.
Okay, so what's the link for?
Tu, the link is for the Losok's channel. The stream on
Then
Losok's
just
channel.
suruh buat scheduling for.
Satu.
Yes.
So, dia bila tu mana ada cakap?
Dah sudah. Apa benda? Pasal
Tak ada. Update je sini.
sama dengan IST dengan ni lah. Selalu jumpa Amirul lah.
Banyak kawan dengan suami.
Iyalah. Kena susun masa depan.
Betul. Iwan ni macam ni, dia cerita. Tanah center tak?
Why sir? Kita tu rumah. Dah come back. Just this. Nanti. Kawan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and a very good evening greeting to everyone. So I have an announcement to make. Due to weather, we will start the ceremony around 8:25. We do apologize and we appreciate you coming. Thank you.
Ask Ain. Not even check.
People are asking questions online. Say what's up.
What's happening? Broski, you gotta wait for 1 second.
Dia cakap apa? Okay, we shall
There
start.
has been a delay in the starting of the event, so it will start at 8:25, which is
Thank
in
you.
2 more minutes.
Thank
Sorry for waiting.
Say start time at 8 p.m. It's been 20 minutes.
Yes, there has been a delay since the weather is not so well. Right now it's raining quite heavily, therefore there is a delay in some of our guest arrival, so it will start at 8:25.
Thank you for your consideration.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good evening to everyone. Before we begin our ceremony, here are a few housekeeping rules that I would like everyone to take note of. Firstly, please switch your phones to silent mode or turn them off. Next, please observe hall etiquette and do limit movement in and out of the hall, such as going to the toilet and etc. Please maintain decorum and respect throughout this event. For the emergency exits, in case of an emergency, the emergency exit will be on my right and on your left, to that door. Hope everyone's clear. Thank you for your cooperation. Please be seated and make yourself comfortable. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more announcement. When I announce the arrival of our VIPs, I would like to request everyone to rise in respect to them. Thank you. Announcing the arrival of our speakers and our VIPs for today. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the national anthem, Negaraku.
Depan sekali. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Before we move on any further, I would like to invite Brother Muhammad Faris Haikal bin Bunyamin to lead the Dua recitation. We welcome Brother Faris to the rostrum.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الفاتحة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي بنعمته تتم الصالحات، والصلاة والسلام على رسولنا الأمين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. Praise be to God, the Lord of the world. Peace and blessing be upon our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions, and for those who followed his example to the Judgment Day. Ya Allah, Ya Fattah, Ya Alim. On this blessed evening, in conjunction with our Peace Interfaith Dialogue, we beseech thee and grateful towards you in favor of all the infinite blessing to us, your humble servant, to live in safe and prosperous life. We seek your blessing for a flawless progress of this event from the beginning till the end. We seek your guidance to steer clear of events that will detrimental the progress of this event. Ya Latif, Ya Rahman, please bless us with your tawfiq and hidayah. Please guide International Islamic University Malaysia to greatness, peace and glory in this world and the hereafter. Make us a responsible intellectual. Grant us with a valuable knowledge that will be beneficial to mankind in order to gain your mardatillah. Make us your righteous servant that follow your commands and neglect the sinful act. Please forgive us for our wrongdoing. Allahumma ja'al jama'ana haza jam'an marhuma وتفرقنا من بعده تفرقا معصوما ولا تجعل اللهم فينا ولا معنا ولا من يتبعنا شقيا ولا مطرودا ولا محروما ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Thank you to Brother Faris. Respected ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum, Tachihao, Vanakkam, Sat Sri Akal, and welcome to the Peace Interfaith Dialogue 2023. Okay, I am your Danish Irfan, and I'll be your master of ceremony for today's event. I think all of us here share a mutual feeling of gratefulness that we are granted the privilege to gather our souls together under the same banner of heaven tonight as we are seated for this Peace Interfaith Dialogue. Peace, a word with a conceptually divine meaning. It is a word that transcends through us. In this world where conflict seems to be an everyday event, humanity itself finds the need to realize the essence of peace even in the midst of all our desperation. Now, I'd like to invite Brother Jasdeep Singh Sidhu, son of Surjit Singh, the Program Manager for the Peace Interfaith Dialogue 2023, to deliver a few words. We welcome him to the stage.
Good evening, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, collaborators, and fellow members of the non-governmental organizations present today. Off the bat, I think I speak for everyone that a packed hall like this will always be a sight to behold. As the program manager for this event, saying that we are grateful for this would be a massive understatement. Not only is this a sight for sore eyes, but this is also a sight for sore hearts as well. First and foremost, I wish to express my profound appreciation to our esteemed committee members. Without you, this event wouldn't be possible. I must also acknowledge the numerous non-governmental organizations from Buddhism, from Sikhism, from Islam that are represented here tonight. I understand that each of you have your own pursuit, and we are very grateful that we share this pursuit of peace together. Your presence underscores the vital importance of collective action in addressing the critical issues facing our global community. To our distinguished speakers, whose wisdom and insight will guide us through this dialogue, we express our deepest gratitude. I think we all agree that we look forward for your words that we hope will transcend through us, where we hope that the sentiment of peace would not only stay a mere sentiment. From Islam to Sikhism to Buddhism, I believe we all share the idea to realize peace in this world. As we gather here this evening, let us remember the importance of our shared commitment to promoting peace and interfaith understanding in a world that often emphasizes on our differences. We are here to celebrate our shared humanity and the potential for cooperation, empathy, and compassion among us. The Peace Interfaith Dialogue is a testament to the belief that by engaging in an open, respectful conversations, it is like composing a melody made up of the most diverse range of melodies, creating a dissonance foreign to human ingenuity. Thank you once again for your presence, support, and dedication. Together, we will continue to make a difference and promote a more peaceful, inclusive world for all. And I hope this Peace Interfaith Dialogue is not the first, but is only the start for more interfaith dialogues in International Islamic University Malaysia. Final words, let's change this idealistic ideal to a fathomable ordeal. Thank you.
Thank you to Brother Jasdeep Singh. Now, I would like to invite Brother Ahmad Lutfi bin Muhammad Noor, Officer of the Office of Islamization and Student Development of the IIUM Student Union, to deliver his opening remarks. With all due respect, let's invite him on stage.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. First and foremost, I would like to portray my sincere thanks for the presence of Dr. Asmadi bin Abdullah, Deputy Dean, Student Affairs of the Ahmad Ibrahim Kuliah of Laws, and also to Dr. Nurjana, Head for Islamization, Center for Islamization, and Professor Madya Dr. Muhammad Noor, Director for SUBSIS UiTM, PDRM, and to all NGOs from Islam, Sikhism and Buddhism, and to all respected audience, we bid you a hearty welcome to the Peace Interfaith Dialogue 2023. First and foremost, I think Brother Jasdeep has defined what is actually peace. As we can see right now, we take a moment and we see that there are 47 to 48 generations in Palestine that is reported to be totally wiped out. From the grandfathers to the grandmothers to the grandchildren who have lived there for more than 100 years in Palestine, totally wiped out. And we have children who are butchered, who are murdered. We have fathers and mothers who now don't have a family, and children who are now orphaned. Now this relates back to humanity, because the issue of Palestine is not the exclusive issue of the Muslim society. when there is a genocide in Palestine, all countries coming from London, from Australia, even from the USA itself, goes down and fight and reaffirm their voices for the humanitarian rights of the Palestinian people. Peace is a very subjective word. It is a word not exclusive to one religion, not exclusive to one person, not exclusive to one organization, but it belongs to all who are named human, all who have the heart, have the soul of becoming human. And this is why this discourse is made, to make us realize that as human beings, we do stand on a lot of matter, on a lot of similarities that we can work together. It is not only on the Palestine issue, but we can also see right now on Rohingya, what's happening in Syria, and what's happening in a lot of other places. And this all concerns humanity. If each and every person of us, especially in the students of International Islamic University Malaysia, put peace and humanity as one of our major goals in our endeavors to da'wah, and in our endeavors and our dream to create a better world, then this world will be better. It will smile again one day, inshallah. So I hope you guys enjoy. And I would also like, before I end, I would like to also portray my sincere thanks for the presence of Perdana Nasional and also Persatuan Pelajar Islam Wilayah Persekutuan, Pelajar Islam Kebangsaan Malaysia, PKPM dan PPIWP, and to all collaborators for making this happen. Jazakumullahu khair. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you to Brother Lutfi for those opening remarks. Moving on to the final opening remarks, we'd like to invite the Deputy Dean of Student Development and Community Engagement of the Ahmad Ibrahim Kuliah of Laws, Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Asmani bin Abdullah, to deliver his opening remarks.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, scholars and students, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And a very good evening. It is my great privilege and honor to welcome you all to the Peace Interfaith Dialogue 2023, hosted by Spirituality and Islamization Secretariat Law Student Society, in collaboration with IIUM Student Union, Persatuan Kebangsaan Pelajar Islam Malaysia PKPIM, as well as Persatuan Kebangsaan Pelajar Islam Wilayah Persekutuan PPIWP. As a Deputy Dean, Student Development and Community Engagements I extend my warmest greetings and appreciations to each one of you who have gathered here today to participate in this momentous event. This dialogue holds a special place in our hearts as it exemplifies the spirit of diversity, understandings, as well as unity that defines the essence of IIUM. We are a global institution that takes immense pride in our commitment to fostering interfaith understandings, transcending boundaries and promoting a harmonious coexistence among people of different faiths and beliefs. In a world marked by complex challenges and misunderstandings, it is more critical than ever that we come together to engage in open and constructive dialogues. This is especially relevant in the context of our diverse community at IIUM. The Peace Interfaith Dialogue 2023 is a platform designed to facilitate an in-depth explorations of the common values and principles that bind our diverse faith. It is an opportunity for us to appreciate the similarities that transcend religious lines and to challenge the stereotypes and misconceptions that may exist. For our Muslim students, this dialogue offers a chance to rekindle and strengthen their understandings of Islam as a comprehensive way of life centered on the foundational concept of Aqidah. It is an opportunity to unite under the shared beliefs and principles that have guided the Muslim Ummah for centuries. For our non-Muslim students, it is an opportunity to learn about Islam beyond the headlines, to understand its true essence as a religion of peace and prosperity, and to engage in meaningful conversations that foster mutual respect and cooperation. We are inspired by the practices of renowned international universities like the University of Oxford and Cambridge, which have successfully conducted interfaith dialogue. We aim to bring these valuable traditions and experiences to our very own IIUM as an international Islamic institution. Through the Peace Interfaith Dialogue 2023, we hope to instill a deep sense of respect and unity among our students. We aspire for them to not only understand the beliefs of each other's religions, but also to practice the common moral values that are at the heart of all faith. In conclusions, I would like to express my gratitude to all the scholars, students, and guests who have taken the time to be part of this dialogue. Your presence here is a testament to your commitment to interfaith understandings and to the promotions of peace and harmony. I encourage you all to participate actively, ask questions, share your perspectives, and listen with open hearts and minds. Let us make this event a cornerstone in our collective journey towards a more inclusive, harmonious, and enlightened society. Thank you very much, and let the Peace Interfaith Dialogue 2023 begin.
Thank you to Dr. Muhammad Asmani for his remarks. Now, we finally move on to the moment you've all been waiting for, the dialogue sessions. Before I invite the esteemed speakers and the moderator, let me briefly introduce them. The first speaker would be Assistant Professor Dr. Kamar Tashi Chidran, who practices Buddhism. The second speaker, Mr. Sunil Shukvir Singh, who practices Sikhism. And finally, Dato Sheikh Hussein Yi, who practices Islam. This session will be moderated by our own brother Muhammad Kumaidi bin Abdullah, a student from the Ahmad Ibrahim Kuliah of Law. So, without wasting any time, let's invite all of them up to the stage to start the dialogue session. Please welcome all of you on the stage.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And salam perpaduan. Apa khabar UAE? Alhamdulillah, as the MC has introduced myself, my name is Muhammad Kumaili bin Abdullah. I am the representative of the co-organizer from PPIDOP and as well from PKPI. Tonight's discussion, we would like to have a better understanding what is peace from three perspectives. What we want from tonight's discussion, we want that everyone here understand each religion and why we should be respecting each other. Tonight we will have an intellectual discussion on religion, and Alhamdulillah, tonight we have three amazing speakers from Islam, from Sikh and Buddhism. Before we start, allow me to introduce the first speaker from the Buddhist perspective. We have Dr. Assistant Professor Dr. Kamar Tashi Chidran, a Malaysian nun ordained in the Tibetan Buddhist tradition. She obtained her PhD in Environment Resource Studies from Mahidol University, Thailand, and Master in Highway and Transportation Engineering. She is currently, prior to become a nun, she had coordinated several development and sustainable livelihood projects for indigenous community, example Orang Asli under the Small Grant Program by the United Nations Development Program. Next, we have our second speaker from the Sikh perspective, Mr. Sunil Shukir Singh. He is the president and also the co-founder of United Sikh Malaysia, while also part of the Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Academy. He is an experienced speaker when it comes to interfaith topic. For example, being one of the speakers from Malaysia Peace Conference 2023. He is an amazing and an active humanitarian and contributes to community enrichment program for youth development. And last and not least, our third speaker, Dato' Sheikh Hussein Yi. He is the founder, the president of Al-Qaedim. He founded Al-Qaedim in 1984, a unique vehicle for sharing the universal values of Islam and helping all people regardless of the creed. So tonight's discussion, we will have a 3 round. The first round we will talk more on the general knowledge of each religion, and the second round we will talk about the current and the global issue that we are facing at the moment. And lastly, we will have a third round that we will open to the audience to give their question to our respective speaker. The question will be open through a Google form, so inshallah, prepare your phone and prepare your mind to give the question. We will start our first question to Dr. Karma. Dr. Karma, how are you? Alright. My first question to Dr. Karma, can you elaborate the concept of nirvana in Buddhism? And how do you think the attainment of nirvana could contribute to resolving global issue, and what is the step can individuals take to move towards this state?
I have only 6 minutes, thank you. Yeah, so salam sejahtera and salam perpaduan to all my brothers and sisters. Very good evening, and thank you very much to the organizer for inviting me here. Yeah, let me not use up my 6 minutes. So I'll get straight to the point. Yeah, it's quite late at night. I thank all of you for coming. The question is very advanced actually. So can you elaborate the concept of nirvana? Okay, basically from the Buddhist perspective, Buddhist philosophy teaches us that there are 3 poisons of the mind. The first poison is ignorance, the second poison is hatred, and the third poison is attachment. So these are the 3 poisons of the mind which keeps us in perpetual mental suffering. And the mental suffering translates into physical suffering. And we have, and Buddhist cosmology informs us that we are actually trapped in a cyclic existence of birth and rebirth because we are unable to uproot the mental factor of ignorance from our mind stream, the poison of ignorance. So because we are ignorant of the fact that we are ignorant of the reality of the world. So what exactly is reality of the world? Reality of the world means that what we see is not what we get. We think that everything exists truly and we start grasping at it. So once we think everything exists truly and then we grasp at it, so then we create this mental energy of grabbing, which is attachment. And then if we don't get something, then we have this mental energy called hatred, yeah? So we push. So once we push, it's hatred. So it's aversion, attachment, and then we just go round and round and round and round. And the best part is that we do not actually really know that we are going round and round and round. So that's actually the ignorance. So every single moment of the day, throughout our lifetime, we think that there is a truly existing being here. That this being, me, myself, and I, so this very heightened sense of I is the ruler. So there is somebody here who really is called Karma Children, and I'm running and I'm calling the shots. Well, actually, life doesn't quite work that way. Yeah? So because of this I, we have an other. So the moment we have this concept of an I, naturally there will be another. So it's then after that, if we have a concept of me, then there will be you, we have the concept of us, and there will be them. So this is the root of conflict in this world. So everything actually starts from the false idea that there is a concrete, truly existing self that you cling on to as if it is real. So basically, now you may ask me, how do we exist? From the Buddhist philosophy, the Buddha taught us that we exist depending on causes and conditions. So which means that there is a cause before, and then that cause also has a cause before that, and then you can go trace it backwards, and a chain of dependent origination. So, and it all starts with the idea that the false sense of I. So now what's so difficult, what's so negative about having an I? The moment we start having an I, we will have a mind. So that it's me, so that means this is mine. So this is mine, me, myself, I. So I everything that is related to me, I tend to want to grab and grasp at it, right? So when there is an I, there is always going to be a mind, and then there's a sense of ownership. And once the mind starts to think that things belong to me, my body belongs to me, and there are things in this world that belong to me. So this sense of ownership, property, associates, friends, relatives, children, parents, loved ones, especially spouses. I think this is one of the greatest possessions, that the mind seems to manifest, that this is my wife, this is my husband, my children, and then we get very protective over them. And if somebody threatens your prosperity, your relatives, your friends, then we are going to be very upset. So now, the concept of nirvana is that it's a cessation, it's a complete cessation of this sense of these three poisons, which is ignorance, attachment, and hatred. So now, how are we going to resolve global affairs? Basically, it's a very long training. It's not like nirvana, you can attain it in 1 day or 2 days. From the Buddhist perspective, it takes lifetimes after lifetimes. But please don't be dejected. So there is a Noble Eightfold Path, and the Noble Eightfold Path is divided into 3, which is, first we develop our basic morality, and then we practice meditation, and then we develop our wisdom. And what is the meditation and wisdom supposed to be doing? It's actually supposed to be telling us moment to moment that don't grasp at things as if they are really existing. And then stop thinking that there's an inherent I. Once we stop thinking that there's an inherent I, then there'll be no you. So when there's no you, there's no enemy outside of us. It's all in the mind. So everybody has to work with their own mind, and hopefully that will be sort of like a catalyst for peace. I've only given 6 minutes. This is a 6-hour topic. I'm sorry. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Karva. Next to Mr. Sunil. Mr. Sunil, Guru Nanak is the founder of Sikhism, was a strong advocate for equality and denounced the caste system. He thought that all human beings can have a direct access to God with no need for rituals and priests. In the context of Malaysia's diverse society, how do Guru Nanak's teaching contribute to fostering unity and peaceful coexistence among its various ethnic and religious groups? Could you provide a specific example on how this principle can be applied in Malaysia?
Thank you, Cool. Mr. Cool, huh? So, thank you so much, everybody else for taking the floor. My esteemed fellow colleagues. Now, Guru Nanak basically came to this world for a particular mission. And that mission is actually to eliminate duality. Duality means the second. So Guru Nanak basically anchored around this concept of Ekonkar. Ekonkar means that one God. Because the world is running at one power, one God, oneness. And that oneness is in everything. So there is no, so when you say peace, when you say unity, unity means oneness. But it is very unique in this world that everything around us is different. Animals are different, humans are different, genders are different, religious beliefs are different. but yet we are pushing for a oneness, unity. So oneness is not in the differences that we have. Oneness is in the mindset that we all must have. Now, Guru Nanak basically pushes that one truth that we all belong to that one power. So you can be born as a Muslim, you can be born as a Buddhist, you can be born as a Hindu, or any other race. But we belong to that one power. And that one power is bringing this unity that Guru Nanak speaks of. Now, in the times when Guru Nanak was born, about 555 years ago, in India, there were Muslims and there were Hindus. And whenever somebody of a spiritual being comes to this world, there's a lot of law of attraction, because the spiritual being radiates peace, it radiates godliness. So both the Muslims and the Hindus came to see Guru Nanak and asked Guru Nanak that who will be accepted in the house of God. And Guru Nanak's answer was a very simple answer, that Shubh Amala Bhajo Dono Roi. It means, that's actually in Punjabi, in Sikh literature, it means if both do not have the right character, the right actions, they both will fail in the house of God. It's not about that if you are born a Muslim, if you are born a Hindu, you are born a Christian, or you are born in any other race, you are born a Sikh, it doesn't give you the ticket to the house of God. Only those people who practice righteousness, who practice doing good, who practice seeing the world as one, only those people will be accepted in the house of God. And he basically said that I came for everybody. And Guru Nanak basically went to Mecca, he went to a Muslim mosque and he prayed with them too. He went to the Hindu mandirs, he prayed to them. Now, if I bring this back to today's world, how do I see this unity, right? In the scripture of the Sikhs, we have this written in Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, which is our living Guru today. In Guru Granth Sahib Ji, we have two, Farid Ji and Kabir Ji. They are both Muslims, and their words are included in the Guru Granth Sahib Ji that we all bow to. And there are words from the Hindu religion, Bhagat Sadhana Ji, Bhagat Ravidas Ji, and many others who are also included in Guru Granth Sahib Ji, which we bow to. So it's not about who you are, it's not about whether you're a Muslim or whether you're a Hindu or you're any other race. It's about if you have the wisdom of God and you have the unity of God and you speak of that oneness of God, that Guru Nanak accepts everybody into one single unit. How do we profess this? Last 2 minutes. How do we profess this? So, if you see, I come from this organization called United Sikhs. So we serve everybody equally. That's actually one way to see how we see oneness. So we have this motto, which is by our 10th Master Guru Gobind Singh Ji: recognize the human race as one. Recognize the human race as one. Meaning to say, when you serve people, you serve without seeing who they are, but you see them as all that one man of that one God. And I say man, I mean woman as well, so no gender inequality here. Man or woman of that single oneness, one power of God. And that power, some people call Allah, some people call Ram, some people call Buddha, some people call Jesus, some people call, and they have many people call Vaigu, but it's a single one unit of power that exists and runs this world. And that's the power, And you said correctly that you don't need a priest. You can connect to this power with the teachings of the great sages, the great gurus, and the great people, the Sufis as well. So that one power is what we basically talk about in oneness. We serve everybody, and I said our Guru Granth Sahib Ji carries the Bani, the verses of both a Muslim and a Hindu, which means it's oneness again. We actually serve everybody equally, oneness again. So that oneness is transcending in everything that a Sikh does. And a Sikh is not here to tell a Muslim to become a Sikh. A Sikh is here to say, hey brother, please be a better Muslim. And he tells her, hey sister, please be a better Buddhist. Because both of you are also praying to that one single God. Just be better people. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sunil. Now moving on to Dato' Sheikh Hussini. Well, some Western perception towards Islam associate Islam with violence, but the teaching of Islam emphasizes on peace, harmony, and respect towards all individuals. In Malaysia, this teaching has influenced the way of life of the Muslim Malays, promoting harmony, stable, and friendliness ties among one another. How do these principles of Islam contribute to fostering unity and peaceful coexistence in Malaysia that is multiracial and multi-religious society?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And a good evening to all our students of knowledge, scholars, and my fellow panel speakers. Coming back to the question, we know about Islam based on the teaching of the Quran. Quran is here to explain to us what is Islam. And the Quran was revealed only to one man, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who was sent by Allah, which Allah said, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. O Muhammad, we never send you except to bring rahmat, mercy to the whole world. And the teaching of Islam is based on peace. This is the dialogue that we're having tonight. Peace will only come when we understand the basic human rights. When the right of everybody is being honored, then peace will come. I will have no peace if my right is not being given. So there are 7 basic rights that I'm not here to explain everything in detail, but I like to share with all the audience first. It's about the right to live, the right to own property, the right for education, the right to be honored as a human. Now, in the Holy Quran, Allah reminds us, Ya Ayuhan Nas, in chapter 49, verse 13, O people, Allah never said, O Muslim, O Arabs, O Malay, no, O mankind. We created all of you from one Papa, one Mama, one male and one female, known to all of us as Adam and Eve. So we came from one father and one mother, so we are no stranger to one another, we are a big family. But then Allah continued to inform us, وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ شُعُوبًا وَقَبَائِلًا, and we make you into nation and tribes. He is the one who decided, the Creator decided to make us different, not we choose to be different now. The Creator knows what is best. But the reason behind this, how it's important for us to coexist, how we can bring peace and harmony among us, is He said, I created all of you differently for a reason, for a purpose. Not to fight against each other, not to humiliate anybody, not to get upset because you are different color and also race and culture, but lita'arafu. Now this is the key. The key is to get to know one another. To get to know one another, you must have knowledge. And that's what Dr. Karma said earlier about ignorance is our number one enemy. You have to get to know one another. Alhamdulillah, being a Malaysian, we have this value, the value of getting to know, knowing one another, not only your race, not only your culture, but even your food. We enjoy all the different food in Malaysia, alhamdulillah. Yeah? But now, and then, lita'arafu. It's very important to get to know each other. Now, when you learn about Islam, you know Islam is here to promote peace. That's why the only religion people who always use peace is the Muslim. Wherever you go, the first thing they will do, Assalamu alaikum, the greeting of peace. And everybody will say, Wa alaikum salam. And may the peace be to you too. That is our value. Now, why people always link Islam with terrorists? We know why. The media today is so corrupted. Especially the West. If you ask me personally, my humble experience in engaging in interfaith dialogue. From 1984, I have initiated an interfaith dialogue when I was a director in Islamic Center in Hong Kong, 1984. It's not new to me. I have a lot of dialogue abroad in Europe. Now, I personally, through my humble experience, the country that produce weapon will not want to have peace. Because if peace, there's no more business. So they will make sure war exists. So the only thing they have to think of, who will be the victim? So they choose the Muslim. So the Muslim become a victim. Islam is always been portrayed by the West as the religion of terrorists. But we know who terrorized who. We all are aware. We never sell any weapon. No Muslim country sell any weapon to any country. Then all of us are aware. Now, it is the media. It is what we always say. The new IT is the cause of this presentation towards Islam. When Islam always promote peace, they say we are terrorists. When they kill us, we are still a terrorist. No? So in any way, you are a terrorist. So we are so used to this word anyhow, no problem anymore. No? But that is not we. We are here to promote peace. I'm so proud to represent Malaysia in any dialogue because Malaysia have proved that we can coexist, live in harmony and peace because we are very open-minded to accept the reality that everybody is a family. Kullukum min Adam wa Adam min Adam, the saying of the Prophet, O mankind. Now the Prophet was talking to 100% Muslim. In Haji Wida, he said, Ayuhan nas, O people. He never said, O Arabs, O Malay, O Muslim. He said, O mankind. Inna Rabbakum wahid. Remember, there's only one true creator who created every one of us. How many minutes? 2 more minutes? And
your time is enough, sir.
So, okay. So, inshallah, we hope we can continue in the next round.
All right. Before we move on to the second round, we will open a Google form to allow the audience to submit their question. So please scan the QR. Moving on to the second round, we will discuss more on few current and global issues. Dr. Karma, this round may be a bit sensitive, so I hope everyone be prepared. Dr. Karma, how do you interpret the principle of compassion and non-violence in Buddhism in the light of the conflict in Myanmar? How can this principle guide us towards the peace and reconciliation in such situations?
I'll try to do justice. Okay. So I do not represent all the monastics in the entire world, so that's a disclaimer. So basically, the first precept in Buddhism, whether it is for a monk or it is for a lay person, is that we undertake the training not to kill. So killing is prohibited in the teachings of the Buddha, because every being wants happiness, no being wants unhappiness. And in the Dhammapada, the Buddha actually said that every living being shivers when the rod strikes. When the rod strikes to kill, every living being quivers. So thou shalt not kill, and thou shalt not cause to kill. So we cannot trade in arms, we cannot trade in meat, we cannot trade in any kind of. In fact, even joining the army is also actually quite questionable. If you talk about Buddhism, and for monks, if we kill, we are actually breaking the first most important precept, and we can be, in fact, we are expelled from the monastic order. So therefore, we talk about compassion. So compassion stems from this very important precept that we should not kill, because we understand the feelings, and it doesn't matter whether you're Buddhist, you're Sikh, you're Muslim, or any, even across species also, whether you're an animal, you're a cockroach, we cannot kill even the slightest, smallest ant, spider, whatever it is, yeah, because we can feel their pain. So we don't want our lives to be snuffed out, so we do not actually, cause harm to others. So in light of the conflict in Myanmar, so the perpetrators of the conflict in the Rakhine state, where the Buddhist, some Buddhist clergy, not all, and it's also very questionable whether they are clergy or not, because if one were to kill or cause to kill, you're no longer a monastic, right? So I'm not quite sure how, I wouldn't want to mention the names, but any monastic that asks, exterminates and causes another being to die, to exterminate an entire, entire ethnic group, ethnic cleansing, genocide, is not monastic, and is going against the principles of the Buddha. So compassion is when we truly have empathy towards someone else. And it's very glaring that there's lack of empathy. And in fact, the conflict in Myanmar, from the general Buddhist perspective, is not about Buddhist Muslim. It's about contest for resources. It's actually a very deeper dynamics at play in Myanmar, with the selected clergy and the state, and also the resources under in Rakhine state, where the Rohingyas were being expelled. So all Buddhists who understand the teachings of the Buddha can tell you that whatever that is going on in Myanmar is not according to the teachings of the Buddha. The Buddha prohibits the taking of any life, and if anybody were to even rejoice in the taking of a life, that person would have already broken the precept, because there are 4 things, in fact, if you to qualify for one to break a precept. If you're talking about a killing, let's say, for example, killing, we have to have knowledge that that being is alive, and we have to have intention that we want to kill that being, or get somebody else to kill that being. And then the third is that we have got to carry out the act of killing, and the fourth is that we have to rejoice. Even rejoicing in somebody's death is also actually being complicit in the act of killing, and that is definitely not compassion. So basically in Buddhism, if anyone were to actually cause harm, even were to strike somebody, even not to kill, even just to say something through your speech is also frowned upon. So in Buddhism, everything stems from the mind. The Dhammapada, the first verse, says that the mind is the forerunner. So which means that the violence that we see in this world will stem from the mind. When I was talking about this now, the concept of me, myself, and I, the ignorance of I versus you. So when we create those kinds of divisions in our own mind, because we cling to an I, and we create a false other, so we have compassion towards ourselves, but we lack compassion towards the other. So this is the reason why we have to first understand how our mind actually plays around with us, with our psyche. Our minds are extremely powerful, and we have to control our minds, otherwise the mind will control us. And when we can control our minds and we can develop bodhicitta, bodhicitta is actually a sense of solidarity. That means every living being wants happiness, no one wants suffering. And therefore, I will undertake the mission to ensure that all living beings have the happiness. That is a vow that every Mahayana Buddhist practitioner takes, which means that we take personal responsibility not only for Buddhists, not only for human beings, but for all living beings. Because Buddhist cosmology has got living beings in the hell, in the hungry ghost realm, the animal realm, the human realm, and the Devalokas. We've got a very interesting cosmology. Whether it's proven or not, that's a different story. But which means that no one is left behind. So I hope that I have answered your question. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Karma. Mr. Sunil, I did some reading on the research. Thank God I have Justin to help me guide on the history of Sikh. So my question is, what role did Guru Gobind Singh Ji's military power and might play in defending the powerless, and how did this power serve as a means of protection rather than an instrument of war? How can this be applied in today's world?
So thank you. So it's really, the other extreme of what Dr. Ghana is speaking about. Very interesting question, and this requires a little bit of your attention. Yeah. Now, like everybody else in this world, there is the people who are obedient and people who are not obedient. So those people who are obedient, who will respect peace, who will respect each other's rights, and those people are considered orang-orang yang berhormat lah, people who are of a certain esteem. Those people are always the ones that will basically follow the peace that's required in this world. However, there are people who are driven by ego, driven by greed, and driven by many other things. And many of times in the Sanatan Dharma, in olden times, those people who were religiously bounded, they would sit and allow and will not react, because in a way it is their obedience, it is their might not to kill. However, others take advantage of it. So Maharaj Guru Gobind Singh, our 10th master, I'm bringing to you why that Maharaj Guru Gobind Singh Ji. The 10th master, Guru Nanak, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, he drew the sword. And as a Sikh, every Sikh is supposed to wear a sword. And a lot of people today's generation don't know this, but every Sikh wears a sword. Tahu tak? Tak tahu. Itulah. Unity, tapi don't know each other. So, it is meant to be, and this is exactly the platform that we need to create, because this is how we're going to share. So the reason why we wear a sword is not to wage a war. So Sikhs, as first rule, is never to lift the sword on somebody that is without a sword. First rule. And you never attack another person. Second rule. The only reason why we carry a sword is so that we protect ourselves and we do not become people that are going to be martyred or going to be victimized. And it is our birthright for us to protect, and it is the hukam, it is the order by Guru Gobind Singh to all Sikhs who carry the sword, that when something injustice is happening, that you must stand up and lift the sword to protect another. It is a right and it is a duty for a Sikh. So we don't carry this for war. That's the first question you ask. How is this relevant to today's world. We will not wage a war, but don't come and mess with us. It's a simple story. Don't come and mess with us. And don't mess with others as well. Meaning to say, if somebody is peaceful, somebody is doing something in a peace way, don't go mess with them, because that's not being right to them. Now, in olden days, people of religious orders, like the Hindus, like the Buddhists, these are people who believe in meditation, who remember God, and who dedicate their life towards God. And these people were always being victimized. Exactly in Myanmar. And I was there in Myanmar when the cyclone hit. We went there to do humanitarian work. And we will always have to stand up and help those people who are victimized. And that's exactly what we did when we went to Myanmar. We worked with the Buddhist monks and made sure that they had food. Even though at that time the junta didn't allow food to go to the Buddhists, to the monks. But we have, as a Sikh, we have to make sure that that food arrives at those people, because it's injustice. So that's the reason why we carry the sword. And that's the teachings of Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Do we carry the sword for war? No. So that peace we need to maintain in the world. We will not carry it for a war, but we will definitely carry it for defending somebody who comes and victimizes others. So anybody that is cannot be protected, anybody that is peaceful and sitting in peace but is being provoked, and anybody who comes here for the land, for the woman, for injustice, it is our right and it is our duty to stand with this sword and stand for those people. That's why we wear a sword. So it's Guru Gobind Singh Ji's words that when all means fail, lifting the sword is just. When all means fail, lifting of the sword is just. And that's the fine line between being victimized and between holding ground so that others don't get victimized. So that's basically how we see the sword and how we see the world's conditions currently. So whenever you see a Sikh, and if you are in need, somebody is bullying you, somebody is being mischievous to you, somebody is even raging you on the road, remind that Sikh that you're supposed to come and protect me, and they should come and protect you. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Suda. I'm glad after this I can call Justin to protect me after this. Now, for the last question for the second round, to Datuk Sheikh Hussein Yi. Given the principle of Piagam Madinah, which include sovereignty of Allah, Hakamiyya Allah, consultation, shura, and justice, as well as freedom, fairness, and nationalism, how can we apply this principle to modern days of Malaysia to create the Madani society which the current Prime Minister is wishing for? And what other steps can be taken at the individual, community, and governmental level to uphold this principle and promote harmony and mutual respect among Malaysian diverse population?
They must warn me again. Alhamdulillah. Now coming back to about Malaysia, I think we have been living in peace and everybody's right is been given. So that is what the Prophet ﷺ had been teaching his ummah. To the extent that the Prophet shows you example, you cannot be one of us. لَيْسَ مِنَّا مَنْ لَمْ يُقِرْ كَبِيرَنَا وَلَمْ يَرْحَمْ صَغِيرَنَا. He don't say only the Muslim, every one of us. If the elders don't love the young, or the young don't show respect to the elders, you are not one of us. Injustice is forbidden in Islam. Everybody, like I said, the Prophet is here to promote the basic human right. And we talk about freedom. Remember, freedom must be guided. You cannot have total freedom. Nobody will give you a total freedom that you can do anything you like, say anything you like. No. You must also know your limit. Everything there is a limit in life. So when come to talk about the government today, Madani government, is not a new policy. This is what is being promoted. And I personally believe we all have been living in peace and harmony compared with other countries. Yeah? We share the same value, care and love. Justice is for all or no justice for all. Basic. The basic principle of Islam. Justice for everybody or no justice. When you talk about human right is for everybody. Yeah? So, like I said earlier, the Prophet was sent to teach every one of us to respect, love each other, like how you love for yourself. To the extent the Prophet said, you are not a believer if you don't love other what you love for yourself. Honor your neighbor, whether your neighbor Muslim, not yet Muslim, they are your neighbor. You must honor. Honor your guests. Everything is being taught by our Prophet ﷺ. And what is very sad is happening today is, I personally feel maybe the not yet Muslim have this fear toward Islam. We talk about Islam, they thought that Islam is just talking about Muslim. No, Islam is here to represent humanity. Killing one soul is like killing the whole humanity. That is what the teaching of Islam is. And if you are given some authority, you cannot misuse the authority, but you are supposed to protect, to make sure that the weak one is being protected. If you have money, that's why you have zakat, you have to help the poor and the needy. If you have knowledge, like what has been shared earlier, ignorance is our number one enemy. I always say, not communism, socialism, capitalism, stupidism is your number one enemy. When you don't have knowledge, you can be corrupted in many, many ways. That's why Allah said, قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنْ دَسَّاهَا. Successful people are those who keep themselves pure and clean, mentally, spiritually, and even physically. That's why Islamic education always emphasizes a very balanced education, body, mind, and soul. You are what you eat. If you're careful with your food, you're careful with your speech, you're careful with your action. And your mind, you're careful with the information that you're going to receive. You're always filtered. And lastly, you are connected to God. Now, peace belongs to God. This is what we believe. That's why there's a prayer the Muslim been taught. Allahumma anta salam. Oh Allah, you are peace. Wa minka salam. Peace only comes from you. So whoever want to have inner peace to themselves and bring peace to others, they must stay connected to the Creator of peace. So this is what I can share with all of you in the second round. Yeah, because when the first ring come in, then the second one just come in very fast without me realizing something. So may Allah bless us.
Alhamdulillah, thank you, Dr. Bashir. Moving on to the last round of tonight. This will be the question given by the audience. This particular question is for each speaker, and I believe we will give around 10 minutes to answer this. Is it okay? Alright, so the question sounds like this. Do you think religious pluralism promotes interfaith harmony within multiracial and multi-religious society? Dr. Karma? So I will repeat the question. Do you think religious pluralism promotes interfaith harmony within multiracial and multi-religious society?
Thank you very much for the question. So religious pluralism, first we have to understand what actually it really means. So it means that we have the liberty, the space to practice our different faiths, right? And to be able to practice it, we have got to have the structure from the state and also the understanding between the different peoples that live in the state. And the Constitution allows for religious pluralism, which means that different religions to exist in this nation. So how is it conducive to multiracial and multi-religious society? Well, basically, live to live and to let live. So which means that if we are all born into our different faiths, and religious pluralism allows us to actually move from one to another freely, and also to, if you want to keep your personal faith for your entire lifetime, that's entirely up to you. So we have a multiplicity of religions, just like when we go into the store, we don't all choose the same products, right? It's like some of us like, let's say chocolates, right? So some of us like hazelnuts, some of us like black forest. So we all have different varieties, the spice of life. So religious pluralism, as I understand it, is to allow the existence of various faiths in one nation, and only if our politicians were to allow us to do that, right? In recent years, especially in the post-COVID, we see a rise in attempts to break this pluralism, and this also, if you really look at it very, very carefully, it's about it's rooted in fear. So when we talk about religious pluralism, we also have to address fear. And what is fear? Fear is rooted, if you're talking about Buddhist philosophy, fear is actually rooted in the mental poison of hatred. It comes under hatred, fear, doubt. Yeah. So what does the hatred mean? It's like you're afraid that something will be taken away from you. So even if sometimes it may be real or it may be perceived, right? So this fear only breeds paranoia, and it breeds insensitivity, and if it is being played and incited by people in power, then we are actually going to be at loggerheads with one another for the rest of our lives, if we do not wake up and challenge the narrative of those who are ruling over us, be it the existing government or be it the various political parties in the country. And why I'm saying it, because I'm a lecturer in the School of Politics, and without addressing our the state and its interesting dynamics of politics at play, we can talk about religious pluralism till the cows come home. But as long as we do not understand how we are actually being manipulated as individuals in the country, religious pluralism will not prevail, right? Because there are questions which sort of challenge the Constitution, and this is actually quite frightening for various different religious groups in the country, because I am a non-Muslim, and I cannot speak for others, but I'm very, very sure that there is not a single non-Muslim in this country who challenges that Islam is the religion of this country. We respect it, we have learned it since young, and we know, and it is a beautiful religion. It's just that we were born into different religions, and we have been conditioned into different religions, created prior to this. So it could be a previous life, or it could be early on in this life. So therefore, we cannot question somebody's inclination towards a particular religion or the right of a particular religion to prevail, and then the rest of it to decay. And if I look at the history of religions, the 5,000-year history of religions, in fact, even from my ancestors actually come from India, and I would like to a little bit look at to quote also, like in India, there has always been religious conflicts, and that always is created by the state. If you look very closely, it is not the ordinary people in the street who actually create religious conflicts. It's about people wanting to gain popularity, wanting to, to have their names written down in history. For example, Aurangzeb here. So Aurangzeb was on a mission to Islamize India, and which was actually. But Akbar, his grandfather or great-grandfather, I can't remember, Emperor Akbar was on a mission to pluralize India. So he was actually he had an entire religion, sort of not as a religion, it's like code of conduct, which actually talks about equality of all religions and the right of all religions to prosper under Mughal rule, under Akbar's rule. But that quickly fizzled away after Akbar passed away, and then it became more and more strict in nature because of the emperors. So if you really look at it today, the religious conflicts that we see are not caused by the people in the street. So I would like to implore my brothers and sisters here, sometimes we really need to be very discerning about what we hear in the media, what we read in the social media, because our minds can be swayed at any point in time because of the mental factor of ignorance that I talked about. It's very easy for us to get all riled up about us versus them, me versus you, us versus them. And this narrative is called divide and rule. It has been done by our colonial masters in the past, and it is still being done today. So if you were to ask me about religious pluralism and how it actually can promote a multiracial society, I would think that a multiracial society is what maintains religious pluralism. As long as we have to understand that we have to preserve our multiplicity, this melting pot of cultures that we have in Malaysia. Because through that, then we have religious pluralism. And religious pluralism is not the prerogative of the state alone. It's actually you and me. We all have to understand that we have to accept that there is diversity in life, and that no one actually chooses the same chocolate, and therefore no one chooses the same thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Karma. Dr. Sunil, same question. Do you think religious pluralism promotes interfaith harmony within multiracial and multi-religious society?
Yes, I think Don Haji already answered this question in his session to say that we all were born from a single mother and a single father. So, and God created all of these different religions, different masters, that came in different times in history. And it is by design of God that this pluralism is in existence. I don't think so. I believe that it's because of pluralism that you can have harmony. Whenever there is injustice, to force one person to follow a singularism is when all problems start. So I believe that pluralism will allow us to live and let live. Believe that the power of God creates everybody, gives everybody the ideas, gives everybody the power to profess their own area, and most important, real pluralism actually don't exist because we all belong to that one single being. It's only we see, physically we see difference. Spiritually, at a soul level, we are the single one being that is connected. So that is singularism, but in pluralism only we can coexist. Yeah. In Sikhism, we believe that everybody has a right to their own religion, and whenever somebody questions that right, then we will not allow that kind of questioning to happen. So allow the religious freedom to happen at every level and with everybody. I don't have anything else. I think Doctor is really covered it quite well. I'm sure Dato also have a few words. I believe we have to believe that we must coexist. If God made all beings to coexist, even though they were all from different types, it is by design that we must find peace in multiple fields, multiple areas that are different. Diversity is the only way to see that one God. It's actually a practice for us every day. When we see Tuan Haji, for me to see Tuan Haji beyond the songkok is the practice for me. If to see Doctor here beyond her robe as a monk, and to see the real soul that we all belong to that one God, is the real practice that we all have to practice every day. So it's okay to have different, we are all three different people, come from three different backgrounds, but I see this harmony in the single mindset, and that harmony is beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sunil. Dr. Sheh, any last input for the religious pluralism promotes interfaith harmony in Malaysia?
Our Prophet said, "Kullu maulid yulad ala fitrah, fa'abawahu yuhawidanihi wa yunassiranihi wa yumajjisanihi." Every child is born pure, clean, uncorrupted. But of course, the upbringing is up to the parent. If the parent is so and so, then the children will be taught to believe what the parent believes. These things have existed from the time of the Prophet. So it's not an issue for us. And also, the Quran emphasizes, number one, la ikrah fid din, there's no compulsion in the religion. You cannot force, no. Force is forbidden. And when anybody chooses what they want to believe, if Allah has created us and He said that, how can we go again and we say, no, you should be like this, like that. Allah said. And then He said, if anybody chooses whatever he or she wants to believe, that is their choice. فَمَنْ شَاءَ فَلْيُؤْمِنْ وَمَنْ شَاءَ فَلْيَكْفُرْ. And then Allah said, لَكُمْ دِينُكُمْ. Look at the beauty of Islam. Allah said, when they choose what they want to believe, then let them be who they want to be. Honor their right. You have your right, they have their rights. Honor everybody's right. So there will be a lot of peace. It's just like our country, we have all our right. In our country, we have more holidays than the whole world in the other country. We have the Chinese New Year, we also New Year. You have the Buddhist Vesak Day, we also Vesak. You have Raya. Everybody is enjoying. We have so many holidays. I think Malaysia, the country has the most holidays. And then our food, Allah, what you just named. I personally have organized a visit, a study tour to all the religious temples. In 1980s, I organized a group. We went to visit the church, talk to the father, let the father please explain to us what is Christianity. We went to the Sikh temple, but in Penang. We went to the Buddhist temple in Penang. We went to the Hindu temple. We went to all this. We just want everybody who live in this country, who are so plural, so mixed, you know. But it's good. Every time you like Darja, you like Pasumbo, you like Rojak, you know. But we enjoy all this food together. Yeah, Char Kway Teow, at the end of the day, brothers and sisters, my personal experience, when I do this exercise, it helps everybody to understand each other better. When you have the knowledge, the understanding, you can bring a lot of peace and happiness. We are not here to judge anybody, but we're here to share with each one. That's why when we say, I always say to my fellow Muslim brother, remember when you say Allah, Allah is not the God of the Muslim only. He said to us, He said, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. He is the Lord of the world. He created everything. He tells us, so for you to say, Allah is for the Muslim, it's wrong. My personal life was a Buddhist. My parent was a Buddhist. I made a migration to Christianity and I became a Muslim. So I have this little experience in my life. So I have no problem to mix with anybody. But if I'm saying that I am good, I must prove to them I am good. Not just say I am good, but I don't show good example. And Prophet Muhammad was reminded by Allah, "O Muhammad, Qul, say, Ayuhan nas, O people, indeed you are a messenger to all of them." He is not only our prophet, the Muslim, no. He is the prophet Rahmatul Alamin. And that's why he said, "Inna rabbakum wahid wa inna abakum wahid. Kullukum min Adam wa Adam min turab. Laysa al-Arabin fadlun ala a'jamin wa la aswad ila al-akhir ayat. Illa bi-taqwa." He said, "Oh people," he remind all of us, this is about human. We all are one. Came from the one God, came from the one father, one mother. And then Arab is not superior than the non-Arab. The white is not superior than the black. To show us that we are all equal. The best among you is not because of your color, your race. The best among you is your taqwa. Your consciousness with the Creator. It's not because I'm white, I'm always better. The white was always superior. What can we do? I'm also white, but they say my white is a different white. My white, yellow, Asian white. I have a better white. So I just cannot understand what people are talking about human rights. And the last thing I can share is say, oh, the Israel have the right to defend. I'm going to politics a bit, but I just have to say, Israel have the right to defend. So we don't have right. You know, they have been living, they have been oppressed, their basic right is not being given for centuries. And then when they ask for their right, nobody respect and honor their right. They will come at them, we have no choice except to fight for our right. When you fight for your right, they say you are terrorists. What kind of right also, I don't know. I think, alhamdulillah, this is a sign that we have shown to us tonight that we coexist. We are here together. We share the good value, and we are trying to. I believe that what our Mr. Sonia said about the sword, because there's what sword, beard, the turban. This is all the identity and the cloud. That's why I always say to my people, so that they understand, wherever you go, you never see a Sikhi bag. You never see a Sikhi in Punjab bag. You don't see UK or in Malaysia. Why? They have that dignity. Each time when they want to ask or beg for any money, they look at their hand. The banker say, "Ini bukan sebarang tangan, ini tangan Sikh." And Sikh forbid people to beg. That's why you have Muslim who beg, Arab who beg, Chinese who beg, but no Sikh. So far, I'm not sure is that correct. Yeah? To show you that they have their own dignity. So what is important, brothers and sisters, please, yeah, remember the value that Allah have taught us and the Prophet have taught us. Not to be judgmental. When you talk about right, honor everyone's right. Even the animal have right to survive. Can you imagine? How can you talk about human? Now you see what is happening when people are bombarding innocent people. They still say they have right. I just don't understand. So may Allah protect us and give us the wisdom to understand the value that we have, and our beautiful country Malaysia have given us a safe haven to live on, to coexist and become like one family. And may Allah guide us, protect us from further destruction.
Thank you, Dato' Sheikh Hussein. To all the speakers, maybe last few words to the audience. Just like to remind the audience, not just comprised of you are a student, but also you from other religion from Johor or Malaysia here. Any last word how to create unity and harmony here in Malaysia?
How to create unity and harmony, right? Okay. So basically, it's very, very important for us to first see that we are human beings, right? So if we can identify ourselves on the level of human beings, and like Mr. Sunil said, that we actually are one, yeah, in terms of our inner soul connection. Of course, in Buddhism, we have different terminology, but essentially, words aside, terminology aside, you know, most of us actually are separated because of the labels. So if we were to put aside all the labels and then just look at each other and then say, you're hungry, you eat, right? When you're sad, you cry. Right? When you're in pain, you seek medication. So you drink, you eat, you've got 2 eyes, 2 ears. We are human beings. So at the most fundamental level, every human being wants to be happy, and nobody wants their rights to be taken, especially no one wants to be deprived of their life. So if you're going to talk about how to achieve unity and harmony, I think the most basic level is to look at each other as human beings. All the other labels can come later, if even necessary. Yeah. So if you talk about religious pluralism, yes, in a way religious pluralism is very important, but then again, at the end of the day, like what Mr. Sunil said, is very, very profound. He said that at the end of the day, we are just one. So religious pluralism sometimes can create these illusions in the mind as if we are all separate, because we all have different religious labels. But if you just peel off these labels, and then you will see that we all have underneath the skin, we've got the same anatomy, same physiology, right? I'm sure if you're medical students, or I'm not a medical student, but I think I roughly know what's under my skin. So we all have the same thing, yeah. So outward we may look like Chinese, Indian, Malay, whatever, yeah. But if you were to look at an X-ray, I think we all have the same skeleton, more or less, yeah. So exactly. So I would just like to invite brothers and sisters here the next time, and even now also, to look at each other in this room, beyond gender, beyond religion, beyond ethnicity, and just look at the human being that is seated next to you, and the aspirations of the human being only to be happy, and nobody wants suffering. And in that way, this world will be a much better place, very united, because we are united by our one humanity. Thank you.
So one way that we try to live and let live is because actually when we are busy with ourselves, right, no time to look at others. Principle, huh? So we tend to always want to look at other person and say that fellow do wrong, that fellow do wrong, that one is wrong, this one is wrong. So we always are outward. Tengok orang luar. Tengok dalam. Look at yourself. What needs to be corrected within you, and that continuous correction will bring peace to this world. It's always that we tend to take this approach that the other person is wrong, I need to find what is your wrong, and I must tell you, you are wrong, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. That approach of outwards preaching is the cause of a lot of disharmony. The best antidote for harmony is look at yourself, continuously improve yourself, and work on yourself. Period. The world will be a very good, nice place, peaceful place. Even your families. Go back home, practice this. Somebody talks about another person, tell them stop. Talk about yourself. And then when you talk about yourself, you don't know what to talk about. It's very easy to talk about others, kan? Very exciting. You talk about yourself, tak nampak pula. So, talk about yourself, talk about those things that you need to improve, go inward, and the world will be a better place. Thank you.
For fellow Muslim, my humble advice and reminder to myself and to all of us, Just try your best to understand the teaching of Islam based on the Quran. The Quran was revealed as a divine guidance, hudan linnas, for mankind. Not only for you, for me, for fellow human. Allah says, Shahr Ramadan allazi unzila fihi al-Quran huda linnas. Then Allah said, the Quran is a shifa, is a healer. If you have problem, whether you have confusion here and there, you have a lot of misunderstanding, you are starting to judge people, you better look into the Quran. The Quran will help you. And follow the teaching of the Prophet, because the Prophet was not sent to judge anybody, but to share. Tabligh, to share. If you think you are good, you don't have to talk a lot. You show good example. Actions speak louder than words. It's no point talking so, but you are not showing a good example. So let us be a practicing Muslim, not a traditional Muslim. Fellow Malaysian, we believe they all are ready, because like what Dr. Kamal said, we have accepted the reality that Islam is the official religion of Wilayah Persekutuan and the country. We have no problem about that. And that's why we all work together, learn how to live as one family. The important thing is now, please remember, Islam is here to preach love, caring, sharing, and respect. Don't talk about race. Race has no value in Islam. Talk about humanity. Lastly, please remember this term, ISLAM. Stand for what? IS is Islam. I shall love all mankind. Simple. Rahmatul lil alamin. It's for everybody. So please understand the spirit of this religion, ISLAM. I shall love all mankind. Share the beautiful value that you say is true, is right, and you don't have to judge anybody. And then keep on praying. That's why we pray 5 times a day. Do we pray 5 times a day, sisters and brother Muslim? Yes. Or sometime? Yeah, you also have sometime Muslim, you know. You have traditional Muslim, you have practicing, be a practicing good Muslim. Show to your fellow neighbor, other people, we are like one family. That's why I call everybody brothers and sisters. And sometimes my fellow Muslim, you call Chinese, I'm a Chinese, so what's wrong? If something is wrong, the Chinese, you must ask God. God created me, not you. Not I want to be a Chinese. If God said Chinese, Chinese lah, habis. Simple as that. He created everything. So please understand this universal value. I'd like to end also, sometimes I feel sad until today, because we relate religion with race. Religion don't belong to any race, don't belong to us. It belongs to God in the Deen of Islam. And Islam never follow us. Please remember, Islam will never follow you. You must follow the teaching of Islam. Then you become a universal person with universal value, and you are ready to live in peace and harmony with everybody and anywhere. May Allah bless us, guide us, and make us a practicing good Muslim and Muslimah, and a good Malaysian. Amen.
To the speakers, there are a special question to be asked. One more question. 5 minutes, is it okay? So the one question is that, as Mr. Suni just now mentioned, that we think we know each other, but we don't. For instance, you show about the sword. I never knew about that. So my question here is that, should we, in the education system, have a special module or subject on just the teaching of each major religion here in Malaysia. So I would like to hear from Dr. Kamar first. 5 minutes.
It means all 3 hours or 5 minutes each? Oh, okay. So should we have religious, different, the main world religions in our school curriculum? Okay. So 11 years ago, I was in this very campus trying to come up with a syllabus for Buddhism to be taught in schools in this country through the Jabatan Perpaduan. That was 11 years ago. I don't know what happened to that initiative, but I am definitely supportive of the idea because just like many people did not know that the Sikhs they actually have the 5 Ks, and also many people do not know what Nirvana is and the 5 precepts of Buddhism, what actually is the Noble Eightfold Path, how the Buddhists practice, and what is the Buddhist worldview, and the worldview of other religions as well. Yeah, and students, non-Muslim students do not understand Islam. And once you don't understand it, you fear it. What you don't understand, you fear. And once we understand what the religions are all about, the great world religions, so to speak, then we start to appreciate the similarities. Because if you really, really look at it, there are more similarities than differences. The differences are only cosmetic. And I myself am a comparative religious scholar. I have written a book on a comparative study between Sikhism and Buddhism. Initially, Sikhism is my birth religion, and I'm very proud to say that I am born Sikh, right? Even though I'm a monastic today, but it doesn't mean that I've actually thrown Sikhism out of the window. By becoming, learning the teachings of the Buddha, I have started to understand my birth religion 1,000-fold more. And that equipped me with the knowledge to write a dissertation on the comparative study between Sikhism and Buddhism. And then I found out that it's one very simple and very profound reality that both religions actually have the essence, the same essence, and the essence is oneness. And it is manifested in different ways, but the idea is the same. And the practice is to come out of suffering for oneself and for all living beings. So it's very, and of course there's so many other similarities, and I was actually quite shocked to find that there are even parallels between the founders of Sikhism and Buddhism. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji and also Siddhartha Gautam, both of them have got similar life trajectories, which I've also incorporated in my book. So if you do not learn, you do not know, and if you do not know, you think that one's religion is superior to the other. So this religious chauvinism can be nipped in the bud if we were to introduce the world religions to students. And contrary to what most people think, that if I were to learn somebody else's religion, I will get converted to another religion. That is, from my perspective, I think it's not true, because if you have been brought up in your culture, your religious values will always be there. It's just a matter of whether you have got a seeking mind to find out what is the belief in somebody else's scripture, and then you realize that it's not really very different from my scriptures as well. So that you and me, us versus them, will start to fizzle out, and then you will see the oneness by learning other world great religions. So thank you so much.
Dr. Sunil, actually your question will be special one, because there's a lot of question asking, they are quite, would like to know about the 5 Ks in Sikhism. Could you more elaborate on that matter?
So the answer to the first question is yes, we must be educated society. God teaches to be educated. So wisdom eliminates fear and gives us a lot of strength. That is what God says. So wisdom is number 1. So we must educate ourselves. And we shouldn't be fearful. When you ask one religious person who is reading another religious scripture, you ask them, aren't you not worried? And they'll say, no, I'm actually in love with my own. But it doesn't mean I cannot look at the others and say, wow, that's also so beautiful. when you are in love with somebody, macam you are married, right? So you can look at your own woman, you say beautiful, and you are married, but it doesn't mean that you cannot look at another woman and say that's also beautiful. Correct? And that's what life is all about. Life is about being in love with your own and enjoying the beauty of the rest. So education is important. Now about the 5Ks, I personally, as an NGO and would like to propagate this, we've been trying to educate the people. Today, I say not only the students of University Islam doesn't know about the 5Ks, but even our abang-abang police also don't know that Sikhs wear a dagger, they wear a kirpan. So it's an education that we need to do everywhere. Unfortunately, or fortunately, 60 years ago, when we were we were about to get into our independence, Sikhs were brought from India to become police and army personnel in Malaysia. At that time, the Malaysian government at that time would only offer them jobs if they had the 5Ks. Because they said these people taat kepada dia punya agama sendiri, they will be taat kepada negara. That was the principle of how they chose their best people. And today, over time, we have forgotten. So yes, let me tell you about the 5Ks. So the first K is our case, unshorn hair. We cannot cut our hair. So from the top of our head to the bottom of our feet, we don't cut any part of our hair. And I'm very nice to see Tuan Haji also wearing the same janggut. You know, even though janggut kurang sikit tapi janggut juga kan. I went to China and I went to a Muslim mosque, and the Muslim mosque, the head of the imam actually had a janggut. Tapi janggut orang Cina tahu kan sikit kan. So, but he was looking at me, I was looking at him because he also saw somebody with janggut he'd never seen a Sikh before. So this is one of the very important. Out of the 5Ks, the case is hair is one. Number 2 is this bangle. Tuan Haji spoke about it, the bangle. This bangle will always be with us and we must always wear it. It reminds us to do the right thing. And it's got another purpose, it's also because when we carry the sword, it also protects us. Number 3 is the sword. I'll bring it out again so that you all see. This sword is a 9-inch sword. And actually we carry a 3-foot one. In reality, we also carry a 3-foot one. That sword is one of the 5Ks. Number 4, for this hair, we have a small comb that we keep with us 24/7, so that we can keep this hair healthy. Always combing it, so that comb is always with us. And the 5th one is a special undergarment that we call kachera. It's not the same undergarment that everybody else wear. It's an undergarment that has got a dengan tali. And we actually wear it to keep our what is the right word? Sorry, our aurat covered in the best way, correct? And we that one is to keep us very very pure at any one time. So these are the 5Ks that we carry, and these 5Ks cannot leave us. When like kita pergi haji kan, after that you become a haji, you have to become a person that follows the Islam. Same way when we Sikh become baptized, these 5Ks have to be with us all the time, 24/7. It is to make sure that we are ready 24/7. Any one time anybody needs to be protected, that the sword is going to be with us. Don't at that time cari sword. So that's why we have to carry this all the time, and that's the 5Ks. Hope it answers.
Alright, thank you, Dr. Sunil. Dr. Sheikh Hussain, similar question, but if we add additional subject where we learn other language, does it mean we need to put more emphasis on Islam as well in the education system?
Allah, I'm just sharing and remind all my good brothers and sisters again. Seeking knowledge is an obligation. That's why the first ayah was read, Iqra, read. And Allah said, Lita'arafu, I make everybody different. for you to get to know each other. How can you know each other without learning? Try to understand what they believe, their culture. I think we all enjoy learning different kind of food. Yeah, you have chai boleh, and then you can go chapati boleh. You know, everything alhamdulillah. So we enjoy all the multi kind of food, but you should enjoy the multi language. Enjoy. But one I would like to share, even we have been promoting this in the educational department before, but you cannot wait. You have to do what you have to do. Don't wait for the government to implement this, implement that. Because we as an individual have our duty and right to learn and understand one another. And that is how we move on. Yeah? Remember, through my humble experience, having all the interfaith kind of gathering dialogues from the west to the east, yeah, and to the Middle East, remember one simple example I'd like to remind all of us here. Politics is divide and rule. Will not bring peace. You talk about economy is the exploitation. The rich want to be rich, the poor will get poorer. Exploitation. The only thing that can bring peace and harmony is religion. Because religion always promotes peace, not war. Religion always reminds us about our basic responsibility as a human, to honor one another. Even you are different in religion, different in this and that, but we are children of Adam and Eve. We are like one family. So please honor this. Remember, you have a religion, value the religion. And follow. Religion don't follow us. We have to learn how to follow our religion. Then you will see there's a lot of peace. And there are a lot of benefit to everybody. So may Allah protect, open our mind to have an open mind, open heart, and not to be narrow-minded, and not to be judgmental.
Thank you, Dr. Muslim. With that, we have ended our session, Brief Interfaith Dialogue. All the questions that we given are to enhance our knowledge on not just Islam, but also the Sikhism and Buddhism. We need to learn more about other religion here in Malaysia. We should be bersyukur that all here in Malaysia, we are living in a multi-racial and multi-religious country. We are rich with culture and belief. And I believe that we should learn each other. Kalau tak kenal maka tak cinta. How do we love somebody if we don't know them? Correct? So let us learn more about other religion. Learn to respect them. Learn how to live together. Then inshallah we'll have peace here in Malaysia. Not just peace in Malaysia, but throughout the whole world. Inshallah. With that, I will pass the session to the MC. Thank you very much.
And with that, we thank Assistant Professor Dr. Karma, Mr. Sunil, and Datuk Sheikh Hussein, and also our moderator, Brother Kumaidi. We ask everyone to remain on stage while I invite the Deputy Dean of Student Development and Community Engagement of the Ahmad Ibrahim College of Laws, accompanied by Brother Jasdeep Singh, Brother Ahmad Lutfi, and Brother Akil Danish, to give out the token of appreciations to our respected speakers for today.
For the student, my humble advice, to be a successful student, please learn how to be a good listener. Sami'na wa ata'na. The power of listening. Thing that you know, alhamdulillah. Thing that you do not know, don't be judgmental, don't be shy. Ask. You have a lot of scholars, the elders, experience come from age. Wisdom always comes through experience, so don't ignore the elders. You love yourself, love others, love your family. Remember that. The Prophet said, "Khairukum khairukum li ahli, wa ana khairukum li ahli." The best among a man who loves his wife. You take care of one heart, that heart take care of 100 of other hearts. Wife happy, everybody happy.
Once again, we invite all speakers to receive the token of appreciation from the Deputy Dean of the Ahmad Ibrahim College of Laws. First, we invite Assistant Professor Dr. Karma. Next, we invite Mr. Sunil Shubhir Singh. And last but not least, Dr. Sheikh Hussein Yi. And with that, we thank Deputy Dean of Student Development and Community Engagement, Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Asmadi bin Abdullah for giving up the token of appreciation. Also, thank you to Assistant Professor Dr. Karma, Mr. Sunil, and Dr. Sheikh Hussein for that very insightful session. With that, we can welcome you off stage. Oh, apologies. So we have one more token of appreciation, this time for our very own Deputy Dean of Student Development and Community Engagement, Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Asmani bin Abdullah. Now, before we wrap up, on a very serious note, IIUM as a whole are deeply concerned over the loss of so many lives due to the escalation of clashes in and around the Gaza Strip. At this critical time, further loss of life, suffering and destruction should stop, and parties should exercise utmost restraint and de-escalate. The root cause must be acknowledged. The Palestinians have been subjected to the prolonged illegal occupation, blockade and sufferings, the desecration of Al-Aqsa, as well as the politics of dispossession at the hands of Israel as the occupier. Now, I would like to invite everyone to rise as we stand in solidarity with our brothers and sisters in Palestine. We're singing the song titled Palestine Will Be Free by Maher Zain. You can take this time to Google the lyrics for now. If your phone's ready, Google the lyrics. Okay.
Kau buat video dia bawah. Later tau, aku nak post kat IG icon.
Now, before you sit, we will do a bit of chant in respect and solidarity of the Palestinians. So I will say, free, free Palestine, and everyone will follow. Okay? Is that clear? Okay. Are we ready? Free, free Palestine! 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 Thank you for your cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated. And with that, this marks the end of the Peace Interfaith Dialogue 2023. No mark of gratitude can be expressed to all the speakers of this event. Thank you for turning the gears and pushing this dialogue into the realms of reality.